and get ready to zoom back in for our final game we are going to review. That is Georgia at Knoxville, winning in overtime against Tennessee 44-41. Man, what another game. You had multiple of the previews that ended up being less than what this was 3 points. The last one was 1. Clemson versus Georgia Tech, 3 points there. That's why we picked those games to preview, because we knew that how close they were going to be and how much of a chance we could be, saying the right things. Obviously, we got this one unfortunately wrong. We thought Tennessee was going to win by 5. It definitely looked like it. They came out swinging back-to-back touchdown drives. To start out this game, it was 21-7 in the first quarter. At halftime, it was 21-17. Georgia was starting to make the right adjustments, getting their playmakers involved. Zachariah Branch, I don't want to say he finally arrived, but he started to really get utilized by Bobo, the offensive coordinator for Georgia. Nate Frazier had a solid game as well, 14 carries for 73 yards. And again, the Bulldogs are getting back to the running game. This is one big thing we said in the offseason that they needed to do. They are really doing it. 55 carries, 198 yards. That is some nasty stuff. And ultimately why they won this game. Gunnar Stockton also had an impressive outing. He had 304 yards, 2 touchdowns. There was an interception, but it was from Puglis, or however you pronounce his last name. I think he's a true freshman or redshirt freshman. He came in to try to heave one in the end zone, I believe, at the end of the first half, and that was the only interception. There was a fumble from Gunnar Stockton, but again, this guy has... I don't know if he has it yet, but he definitely has that gamer in him and not giving up. He does see the hill he has to climb, and he figures it out. That was just an impressive game. I didn't give him a much faith going into it because the first 2 weeks just didn't look like Georgia was going to be able to get the job done in it. Also, I mean, look how they were in that first quarter, 21-7. Some ugly stuff. Looked like Gunnar Stockton was going to be, stunned throughout this, but it was just a nice back and forth there in the second half. Goes into overtime after Tennessee misses a field goal, which kind of sucks for the Volunteers, because if they didn't pick up that penalty and lost 5 yards, they put it through the uprights and the fans are storming the field, maybe it could have been that alternate universe's results, but it ends up not going their way. We talked about going into this, is the Bulldogs going to score enough points? They more than delivered. Again, those halftime adjustments from Mike Bobo and getting the ball to his playmakers, like Branch, like I just said, who I think is going to just have a great season for Georgia. Kobe Young had 4 receptions for 73 yards. That's another guy that had a great day. London Humphreys had a bad week last week with a fumble. This week he gets 2 receptions for 59 yards. Just a lot of contributors in the receiving game. I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different targets that Gunnar Stockton hit. And that's the progression I'm talking about. That's the step that he needs to take. It's not about finding your guy, Mr. Reliable. It's about finding the guy that's open, that's going to help your team win. And that's what he did. Joey Aguilar, though, he went off as well. 371 yards, 4 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. One of those kind of was... It is what it is. I believe that was at the end of the second half as well. It was like back-to-back interceptions, and then he threw one there in the second half. We talked about Star Thomas, and then Deshaun Bishop. Even though I think I said Deshaun Gibson in our preview on accident. Regardless, they had a decent game. 125 yards in total on the ground. 60 for Thomas. Bishop had 54. Those guys, I think, did a decent enough job in complimenting Joey Aguilar. But ultimately, it just came down to the defenses that were just allowing too many points on the board. CFB Home, a big account that we do our pick'ems with over on X. Like, they have 100,000 followers, and every week they put out every single game and a score prediction. He almost actually hit on this game. I think he predicted 47-40, or whatever they are. They just, it's just CFB Home. Regardless, that was kind of insane to see them like, oh, this is gonna be high scoring. Like, I didn't think this was gonna be a high scoring game. Not at all. I thought the defenses would have showed up, but they didn't. And it ended up being 85 points total. They predicted 87 points, just 2 points off. That's like kind of insane how close that was. But again, the rushing, not enough rushing. It looked like for Tennessee. I said if Bishop and Thomas could average 4.2 in contributing throughout the game on the ground per carry, Tennessee would have had a good chance in winning this. They only got it to 3.7. Good run defense from Georgia. Not so good pass defense, as they got pretty much shredded. A guy that I was really surprised and is really stepping up this season, the former Tulane Green Wave transfer from 2024, Chris Brazzell II. 6 receptions, 177 yards. Very similar to Mario Craver. Just wasn't on the winning team, but could have been. I mean, this game could have gone either way. And then that unfortunate Tennessee fan that was on the broadcast there at the end, just like, are we going to get the win? Are we going to be celebrating for the first time in a long time? The last time the Vols beat Georgia was 2016. This looks like it's going to be another year waiting. And on top of that, this could have been that year where they got the job done and beating Kirby Moore. But Josh Heupel, still a great job on what he's doing over there. I still think Tennessee is in the race for a playoff spot. This team is going to be scoring a ton of points. They just need to address the defense, particularly in the defensive line. Allowing 198 yards on the ground, you're going to have a bad time. But, for what they had to deal with, their first real test, for me, they passed even though they lost. And I cannot wait to see more Volunteers football. Next week, they have UAB, which primes them for Mississippi State. Arkansas the week after that. They'll most likely go 2-1, even though the Starkville Dogs there on the road will be a test. And then that gets them ready for Alabama and Tuscaloosa. And who knows what the Crimson Tide are going to be by that point. Kentucky, Oklahoma, those are very winnable games. Very winnable games for this Tennessee team. New Mexico State, Florida, those are going to be pretty easy, I think. Florida just doesn't look so good, but DJ Langway could go off on the Volunteers defense. Who knows? That one's in Gainesville. And then if Vandy is legit, that game at the end of the season is going to be a banger, and I'm here for it. For Georgia, who do they play next? Alabama, but they have a bye week. So they'll take their break. They'll get ready for the big week 5 game against the Crimson Tide at home. And then it's kind of like off and on. Really tough games. They got Auburn, Ole Miss, Texas later on in the season, and then Georgia Tech at the end of the year. Seems like Georgia Tech's going to be pretty solid. We went into this game predicting Tennessee winning by 5. Again, it was very close, just short. Didn't hit that average yards per carry of 4.2. It was 3.7. Just gotta be effective there in the trenches. Those are our previews.